This is The Scoop for Friday.
Good morning. I'm Megan Bowman with the WMNF News headlines. Today is Flag Day. It commemorates this day in 1777 when the Second Continental Congress adopted the nation's flag. It represented the 13 colonies with 13 stripes alternating in red and white, and the Union with 13 white stars and a blue field to represent a new constellation. This flag design was first carried into battle on September 11th, 1777 in the Battle of Brandywine. A rally before a Florida Public Service Commission meeting had Tampa Electric customers protesting to stop a proposed rate increase. WMNF's Chris Young takes us there.
I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
Demonstrators waved signs and chanted outside of Hillsborough Community College's Brandon campus. According to the advocacy group Food and Water Watch, residents could pay over $200 more each year if their rates are increased. TECO customer Crystal Pate Harris spoke against the increase.
I have not been able to provide medicine for myself and some of my children because of the outrage high electric bill, and it just keep going sky high.
Other speakers also shared financial hardships with high costs. After the rally, many demonstrators headed inside the meeting to give public comment. The board will meet again to discuss the rate increases in August. Chris Young, WMNF News, Brandon.
St. Petersburg City Council met for a workshop session Wednesday to discuss plans for the new proposed Rays Stadium. Council member Brandy Gabbard raised concerns over the design plans and its ability to be used as a public shelter during a catastrophe.
And if, God forbid, the worst happens, we will need to use this facility in some way, shape, or form to get our city back whole. I don't want us to then have a facility that we have to use that is not adequate or maybe not even usable because it wasn't built to the way that it needs to be built.
Senior architect Zach Alley says the building could sustain Category 4 hurricane winds and falls within state building codes. But Gabbard says the language used in the agreement is not good enough for the large investment the city would make. A final vote is slated for July 11th, but agreements will require the county and Major League Baseball's approval. A bill to kill bears is up for debate after multiple state officials used the term crack bear to describe the reason why this law should pass. The reference comes from the 2023 movie Cocaine Bear. Officials say crack bear describes the erratic behaviors of black bears, like breaking into people's homes. Florida Sierra Club political director Javier Estevez says the nickname lawmakers are using is based on a fictional character.
A Republican legislator actually stood up during debate and talked about crack bears. They are taking a fictional villain from a movie and passing legislation, right? For a problem that doesn't exist when real problems in Florida are existing for everyday Floridians.
The legislator Estevez references is State Representative Jason Schoaf, who introduced the bill in November. Estevez says the bill is unnecessary because crack bears do not exist, and says he fears it would allow people to kill bears needlessly. Governor Ron DeSantis signed 12 bills Thursday, including measures that will provide public records exemptions to shield county and city attorneys and court clerks' personal information. The exemptions extend to their family members. Information like home addresses, telephone numbers, and dates of birth are shielded. The bill says the exempted positions are involved in issues like enforcing codes and ordinances, which can lead to retribution and threats. Similarly, DeSantis signed another bill that prevents the release of personal information about clerks of circuit court, clerks' employees, and their family members. And South Florida is preparing for more rain after a tropical disturbance dumped 20 inches of rain in some parts, and conditions are expected to worsen today. WFLA's chief meteorologist Jeff Barrodelli says Sarasota received almost a foot of rain in 3 hours on Tuesday, which statistically only happens once every 500 to 1,000 years. The disturbance also caused widespread flooding. DeSantis declared a state of emergency for Broward, Collier, Lee, Miami-Dade, and Sarasota counties earlier this week. For weather, today expect some sunshine with possible thunderstorms this afternoon. Your high is 94. And tonight, expect those thunderstorms to continue with some heavy downpours until about midnight. Your overnight lows will be in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, expect a mix of clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms, but the rain should cool you off a little bit with a high of around 89. I'm Megan Bowman with the WMNF News headlines on 88.5 and WMNF.org.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.